trans mother has a trans kid and brainwashes them. This becomes their life because they have no life. So they make a life for themselves where there's sympathy, attention, interest by sacrificing their children. It's disgusting. Where they're now saying that their kids are transgender. And it's identical. This is the same MO as making your kids sick and keeping them ill. Same exact MO. Attention. You're the center of attention. People are interested. Oh, trans. How did you know? Oh. And it gives you a life. You're living vicariously through your kid because now you have a life in this trans community. Oh, my kid's trans too. Oh, let's sit and talk about it. I'm going to a demonstration. I'm protesting for my child. There's some of the sickest, most twisted, mentally ill people you will find. No different than poisoning your kid. Because in the long run, that's what you're doing. So let's watch a little of this douchebag mother here.
I'm trans, I have trans children, and this is us.
If you don't mind me asking, when did you know that your true identity was transgender?
I grew up in a fundamentalist religion, and I fought it for a long time with depression. Probably say I knew it 10, 12, but didn't believe it and didn't really accept it about myself until about 8 years ago.
She realized, oh, I must be trans. Because she looked around and said, that looks like a fun little group to be around. And what a coincidence. Her child also becomes transgender. What are the odds?
You have to know there's gray because science says there's gray. But the current administration doesn't quite believe in science. I'm always very flattered if people come and say, hey, what are your pronouns? Because you're like, yay!
So you said that your kids are trans as well?
I have a trans child, yes.
Okay. And what were the signs and how did they start to identify?
From a young point, they just never fit in. We knew before they did. The day they came out was a relief to us because we're like, oh my God, they finally figured it out.
We knew before they did. We knew before they did. Oh, I bet you did. I bet you pounded that into their fucking head that they were trans. Oh, they didn't fit in. Wow. Like what? Other 4-year-olds fit in? What are you talking about? If a child doesn't fit in with other children at an insanely young age, you instantly assume they're trans because you want them to be trans. If you wanted to exercise your Munchausen by having an autistic child, you would say they didn't fit in. My child's autistic. There's always a group that you could just fit into. And that's exactly what this one's doing. And did you see another very telling thing? Oh, I just love when people come up to me and ask my pronouns. I'm like, yay, yay. Yeah, this is what this fuck has been looking for. A life where people come up to them and tell them something that kind of makes them feel like they are who they say they are. It verifies what they've been thinking about themselves. You're a transgender. I don't even know what the fuck she's supposed to be. I guess it's a woman that wants to be a man. Yeah. And now that validates it. When someone comes up to her and goes, what are your pronouns? And she goes, yay. It validates her insanity. It validates everything. Making your kids something they're not. Something that statistically is impossible. Any more?
They had trans friends, we had trans community. They asked a lot about trans stuff. So I asked one of my trans friends to come over, hey, can they just meet you and, see you and ask possibly inappropriate questions because they're 7.
Can you believe that? 7 years old. 7. And she's like, oh, and it obviously everyone this fucking mental patient knows is trans or in that community or gay or whatever the fuck. So, my daughter, my 7-year-old trans whatever, has, trans friends, and there's trans teachers, and there's trans this, and I have trans friends and family. And then I invited my trans friend over to talk to my trans kid. Yeah, you live in this trans bubble, and that's all that's influencing your kid every day. This kid don't even have a chance in school with all the fucking bullshit going on in public schools about this one's trans. It went from none trans people in school to now a third of all kids recognized as some type of different than the binary. A third of all kids. Did that just happen? Was something in the fucking water? Did a fucking trans meteor hit? Or is it more likely that this nonsense has been spread around and pushed into kids' heads that they believe that there's some form of trans instead of being heterosexual, straight kids? 7 years old, all she's got talking to this kid are trans people. Oh, what happened? So you were walking and you stubbed your toe? Yeah. You know what that means, right? You're trans. Don't worry about it. Just means that. You're trans. You had a hard time sleeping last night? You're trans. So what you're saying is you feel like you need water? Yeah, that's called being thirsty, and that is a sign of being transgender. Imagine this kid in that atmosphere. Every fucking minute of the day, this degenerate mother and her fucking friends that she has because she's a degenerate and wanted to be a main character and is using her kid, drags these people over to indoctrinate her 7-year-old. 7. You cannot possibly decide what your gender is at 7. First of all, you can't possibly decide what your gender is. My mistake. You're a male or a female, a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. If you decide you want to be gay, you decide out of the fucking blue you want to be gay. 7? No, a 7-year-old boy. I was one once. A 7-year-old boy doesn't even fucking imagine that shit. There were certain things that I did find titillating as a 7-year-old. A magazine cover of a girl, of a woman in a dress, and you look at the shape of the woman, and there was something. You didn't know what the fuck. You just knew, yeah, that's something I find myself looking at it and not looking away for some reason. You can't even say you were attracted to it. You just felt compelled to keep looking at it as a 7-year-old. Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining. You might have been staring and the dad's looking like, it's my boy. Look at him looking at that Cosmo magazine cover. This model in a dress. And meanwhile, the kid's just like, it's something about that dress I like. And then maybe he gets older and he does start liking the girl in the dress instead of the dress. Who the fuck knows? Because you're 7. And all of that stuff, the hormones and the just your mind growing, your body growing, that leads to who you will become as a sexual being. And there ain't no fucking parent or doctor or shrink or any freak at one of these parades that's going to be able to tell you that at 7 years old, a kid can make that decision. Just don't happen that way. It is impossible. And for that woman to say, scientists know. What scientist? The one man dressed like a woman marching behind you? That's a lie. There are two genders, man and woman. That's it. That is it.